King Amon reigned from 3313 to 3315 AM for 2 years. King Amon's reign over Judah, which lasted from 3313 to 3314 for a brief 2 years, concluding in the 9th year, 6th week of the 69th Jubilee, represents a continuation of the idolatrous practices that had marred his father Manasseh's reign before his late repentance. Unlike Manasseh, however, Amon did not have the opportunity, or perhaps the inclination, to seek redemption or institute reforms that could steer Judah back towards the covenantal faithfulness advocated by earlier kings like Hezekiah. Amon's rule is characterized by the biblical narrative as being evil in the sight of Yahweh, closely following the idolatrous traditions of his father's earlier years, without showing any signs of repentance or spiritual renewal. He worshipped and served the idols that Manasseh had made, further entrenching the kingdom in practices abhorrent to Yahweh. His actions not only reinforced the spiritual decline initiated by Manasseh, but also demonstrated a disregard for the brief period of repentance and reform that marked the end of his father's reign. The brevity of Amon's reign meant that his impact on Judah's religious and political landscape was limited when compared to the long and eventful tenure of his father. However, the continuity of idolatry and the lack of any move towards repentance or reform during his rule contributed to the further spiritual erosion of Judah. The kingdom continued on a path that would eventually lead to divine judgment and exile, as prophesied by the prophets of Yahweh. Amon's reign came to a violent end with his assassination by his own servants, a reflection of the turmoil and dissatisfaction that may have permeated his rule. However, in a turn of events that underscored the complexity of Judah's political and spiritual landscape, the people of Judah executed Amon's assassins and placed his son, Josiah, on the throne. Josiah's reign would mark a significant departure from the practices of his father and grandfather, heralding a period of extensive religious reform and a return to the worship of Yahweh. The story of Amon, brief as it is, serves as a bridge between the troubled legacy of Manasseh and the reformative zeal of Josiah. Ending in the 9th year, 6th week of the 69th Jubilee, Amon's rule underscores the enduring tension between adherence to and departure from the covenantal faith, a theme that plays out repeatedly in the history of Judah's monarchy.